Fellas, I want you to imagine yourselves on a random Monday, Wednesday, or Saturday evening around 10:59 Eastern Time, because you are watching the Powerball Lotto numbers being drawn live on television, and by God, you've got the winning ticket. Let's say your winnings are, after taxes and everything, about $500 million. It's a sizable lottery winning, I would think, for the Powerball. What are you doing with your winnings? It's going to be practical. This can be nonsense. You can blow it all on a bunch of exotic cars and homes and hookers and blow. I don't care. It is totally up to you. But I want to know, what are you guys doing if you win the lottery?
How much was it again?
$500 million.
Okay.
That's what you're working with here.
I'm boring, man.
That's fine.
I'm
What do you got?
boring. I don't remember what movie it's from, but it's a scene that I like. It's a movie with Mark Wahlberg and John Goodman. And the clip is talking about
Fuck you money.
Fuck you money.
Yes.
It's talking about and doing things from a position of fuck you. And there's some standard things that you do. You buy your home outright.
Right. It's the Gambler. Is the name of that movie.
That's the name of that movie?
2014.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever even seen the movie. I just have seen the clip.
Same,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Same. Yeah, I like that. That's a solid idea.
That's where I'm at, man. I just want a house, a reliable car, and I really just wanted whatever I want to do in the moment. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm going to the doctor. I'm going to be as healthy as possible. I'm hiring a private chef. I'm going to be eating right.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Private chef.
You know, you can get you a personal trainer as well. Just get in the best shape that you can be in, and then you can do whatever the hell you want with your whole life. You don't have to think ahead at that point.
Yeah.
Let life come to you at that point.
I like that. That's a nice mentality.
Similarly, along those same lines, I would have my money making money for me at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always told myself that if I ever won the lottery, that would be like the first thing I would do is figure out how much money I would need to invest in order to receive some kind of dividend or payment
so the
back.
Interest at the end of the year is fine. Yeah.
Where I can make like maybe 75 to 100K off of the interest and just live off of that. And then the rest of the money is the play with money, right?
Yeah, just to piss around money.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm doing after that is I'm figuring out which dude won that auction for the Cheeto that looked like a Charizard.
I saw that.
And I'm buying that thing from him.
Oh, God.
I'm giving the man a blank check.
What did he end up buying that for? I think I got here. Good God, $87,840. This thing it doesn't even like closely resemble. This thing is spot on a Charizard. Somebody at the Cheeto factory, somebody at Frito-Lay was whipping up a rare one that day.
Like there's been a few of them throughout the years where it's like Jesus on toast, and you're like, I can see it, but no, you're right. This one is pretty dang spot on.
Yeah, the Cheeto Zard. It's actually encased in like the top part of the card, so where it doesn't have like the attacks and stuff at the bottom. Just the picture. We'll put this is worth going in the show notes. I think for me, I've always said there's several things that I've wanted, ridiculous things that I know that I would want to buy that have no value other than, to me, stuff I'm just blowing my money on. Season tickets to the Rangers.
Absolutely.
I've always said I would want to do lifetime season tickets, and I don't need to be behind home plate. I love to venture around the ballpark and find where the best seat is. So I've got several that I like that are an economical choice for me if I won the lottery and be able to buy lifetime season tickets in that spot. So that is for sure one. I love the truck I have now. I'm probably going to buy a new vehicle. And I don't know.
Brand new.
And I don't even know if it's brand new.
Really?
Yeah, because I like, there's used stuff, old Broncos that have been redone. And I
see what you're saying.
Older Jeeps, stuff like that.
Get you a square body.
Yeah, that would be cool. And I'm not going out to blow
the square hole.
some, six figures on some car, maybe 50, 60.
You're buying a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I don't need some wild thing like that. The house Bentley? I'm in now is wonderful. I love this house.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to keep it in the family, honestly, but I would like to buy a new house. If I could keep this one, maybe rent it out or Airbnb it some way or another. But that's some of the things that I would just blow the money on. Now, practically here, the first thing I'm doing is I'm hiring a lawyer, then I'm calling a limo service and renting a stretch Hummer limo to take me and my lawyer down to Austin, where you have to cash the ticket in.
Oh,
So this, just a little 3-hour parade from DFW to Austin with me and my lawyer. Jordan will probably be there with us too. Popping
She can
bottles.
come.
Yeah, she can come. But that's for sure one of the first things I'm doing. And then what you said, I'm going to have my money make my money for me. And I happen to have a money and financing guy, my best friend, Austin Hurley. So he would know exactly what to do with the money. So I'm doing that.
how do these people go broke is something I've always wondered. Like, how do you spend that much money relatively quickly?
I feel like it's easy.
I feel...
I don't feel like it's easy. I feel like it's a lot easier than you think.
Okay. It just do not...
It's a slippery slope.
There has to be some type of account as well, not just like the account or several accounts that are having money make money for you, but accounts to where you can't touch it, where it's locked for X amount of years or whatever.
Fiscal responsibility is an issue for a lot of people, and when you put it on that kind of scale, it's only going to get magnified.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
If you're broke, you gonna find a way to get broke again.
I've heard stories of it. What was it, Adrian Peterson's 30th birthday party?
Yeah. The one thing, aside from Rangers tickets, that I always go back to if I were to win a significant amount of money is to build a friends and family compound and do their commune. Do the Belusic friends and family commune where everyone can come and live.
You can buy out the Masonic temple over there on Fielder.
Yeah. And
I didn't think about that. With that kind of money, you really
You absolutely
map
could.
out your own little utopian little area and just you let in who you want.
Absolutely. And the rules would be you obviously have to stay employed, whether it is a full-time job or a part-time job, and it can be your own business. I have enough money to where I could probably bankroll some side projects if a group of people want to get together and open a farmer's market for the commune that we have or whatever. And that's really the only rules. Just make sure that you are gainfully employed and that you're, keeping your shit together.
Oh, you gotta be careful, man. Joseph McCarthy gonna come for you, man.
Communism looked great on paper.
Ugh. Just thinking about that, it just like relieves stress. Just like, what would I do? Just like let yourself go there for a minute.
Insurance, because you both talked about like the health aspect and like or getting healthy. I always
fixing my teeth.
Yeah. When I was younger, I always talked about I would buy like my car insurance for life or my homeowner's insurance or health insurance for life, so it's a bill I don't have to worry about every month.
Hell, I'm buying an insurance company almost at that rate.
Right?
I was like, if you could
just join in the dark side, huh?
stay away, Luigi.
This is this is good, God. This is the Belusic and Green Compound and Insurance and Law Firm.
If you could
Chainsaw repair.
almost double that, though, then we're getting into the part where it's like, could I get a majority stake in the A's and relieve them of this bullshit ownership?
That would be another cool thing to do as well. I didn't even think about that. Trying to get some type of majority stake in a failing franchise and do the right thing.
Right.
I think it'd be cool to own a floundering blues bar.
Oh, yeah.
Just a fucking money pit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And you have the money to just eat the losses.
Exactly, yeah.
But you keep the spot open.
Yeah.
There's like 5 people there every day. But this is the best freaking music you ever heard. You know what I mean?
Welcome, everybody, to the Ranger Zone.
The Ranger Zone.
Oh, yeah. We are 3 criminally obsessed Rangers fanatics, semi-qualified to dish out our takes like hot cakes from the fans to the front office. I am Robbie Belusic.
I am Chris Green.
I am Tony Cook.
We have a fantastic show. I'm always worried that you guys are worried it's going to be bad, but they're not. They're always so wonderful. This episode...
Ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie. This episode, we are going to do a bit of a April recap. The month is coming to a close right now. It's the date of recording is April 27th, so we do have a few more games left in the month, but for the most part, April is done.
And we all got your taxes done in time.
Yeah. And we've got some thoughts on this club's performance.
Be gone, thought.
And we want to bring you these thoughts. But before we do that, how about a little bit of news? First up here in the news segment, we have a Texas Rangers promotion that is coming up. You will not hear about it from us before it happens because this episode will not be out on Monday when this promotion starts. But it is pretty cool. We've never done anything like this. It is the Golden Chicket, a Willy Wonka-esque contest hosted by your own craziest chicken around, the Golden Chick.
Where'd they get all this money?
Golden Chick?
Yes.
The got to be the world famous yeast rolls.
I mean, they is good, but the Golden Chick I grew up with is we was scrimping by. Like,
I am glad that we did trade one chicken place for a superior chicken place from Chicken Express to Golden Chick.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say Golden Chick's not as good as it used to be, but it's still far superior to Chicken Express.
Yeah.
Chicken Express is a one of those like fly by night, steal your Krabby Patty formula and start a new restaurant.
Really?
Yes, it's
That's right.
started by a former Golden Chick guy.
Ha!
Yep.
Chum bucket in disguise. So the Golden Chicket promotion. This is a promotion in which you can buy a ticket for a singular game. In this case, it is for Monday, April 28th. That is when they're doing this promotion. They're starting it.
Versus the A's, right?
Yes. Yeah, when the Athletics are in town for their first series with us at home.
Shows how much of a draw the Sacramento A's are.
Yeah. So you buy a ticket. I believe it is a $100 ticket.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the mezzanine section, which just the second deck, I believe. Maybe the first deck.
So is this a ticket that normally by itself would probably be like $59?
Maybe, yeah, probably. So you buy this ticket. If the Rangers win on Monday, you get a free ticket to the next game. I'm not sure if the ticket is in the same section. I'm sure it is. I don't know why it wouldn't be.
And then what happens if they win again?
You get another free ticket. And then if they win again, you get another free ticket. It just keeps going and going as long as they win. The thing is, what's going to suck is if we lose to the A's on Monday. It's over. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to the game on Wednesday, and I was like, oh, that would be really cool if I wasn't already planning to go to this game on Wednesday or even Tuesday. I would do this.
Is that Glizzy already?
That's on Wednesday. I'm getting the Glizzy hat on Wednesday, yes. Very excited about that. I will have two of them. Jordan will probably not want hers. It's not going to fit you, Christopher.
I know.
But Tony, if it fits you, if it works, I'm sure
You probably
Jordan will be happy to give it up.
All right.
So that is the Golden Chicket promotion. Oh, the section's right here. Sorry, it tells me 122 or 123.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so that's really good. That is that. So technically, the first story, because the ground level's underground, and then you have the 100s right above it. That's a really good value, even just for just the one game. I feel like that would be fun, and it's a little bit of a gamble, and everyone loves the rush. The win last Saturday, let me see what date that was. That was the only win in the Dodgers series. That was Bochy's 2,184th win, making him the 7th winningest manager in baseball history. The next closest is Sparky Anderson at 2,194, so just 10 away. And now I believe 8
he's getting real
away.
close.
Yeah, so he'll end up being the 6th winningest manager by the next couple of weeks. Next week, this week,
hopefully.
Yeah.
How long has our guy been doing this?
Oh boy,
man.
God, Brochy.
It's done.
Brochy.
Like, lock it in. It's Brochy from now on.
I mean, he was the manager of that 98 Padres team, so
yeah.
And that was, by God, almost 30 years ago.
I wonder what his winning percentage is compared to these other greats on this top 10 list.
I have the ticket price real quick too.
Yeah, go for it.
I said 59,
Let
right?
me get on that.
Yes.
All right, so if this price is right, I lose, but just barely, because that thing is 57.89.
Oh wow. Okay.
So
His winning percentage is .499. So
Ooh.
right at 500 for his career.
A lot of bad Padres teams and a bad Rangers team and a couple bad Giants teams there at the end.
Yeah. Next up on the news, Corey Seager is on the 10-day DL. If you were wondering where he was at, pulled up on a out to first base on his hamstring. They just said I didn't hear an actual grade. Yeah, I didn't hear an actual grade, but I did hear mild. Is what I heard. And they said that it would probably only be the 10 days.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Nick
He
Ahmed.
was so hot too. He was on fire.
Yeah, he really was. He was
banging.
Yeah, he was getting. Had found his swing for sure. He was in his feels up at the plate for sure. But Nick Ahmed, he re-signed with the club to take Corey's spot, which I thought was interesting that we didn't just call up a guy. We actually went out and grabbed Nick Ahmed.
They decided to leave Duran down there and got Nick Ahmed.
Yep,
so
yeah, and Ornelas, who is actually up with the team now.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, did not get called up in that, but a 40-man spot was needed when we needed not Duran, Nick Ahmed to sign to the club. So we DFA'd Walter Pennington, famous for graduating of the Colorado School of Mines. The children, they yearn for the mines.
They sure do.
I've got the black lung, Pop.
And last up here in the news, Jack Leiter is making his return today. As we record this episode. We'll probably be done by the time the game starts. I think it's a 3 o'clock start.
Oh, they're on the West Coast. I'm sure.
Need the game
Been
today.
a lot of West Coast lately.
Rubber match game today. Need that. So
we made touch base on it, but that loss against the A's, where it was the walk off when our good old buddy Leody Taveras booshed the ball. It was definitely one of those. I stayed up for this, and it was like midnight.
There were some pitching aspects of that struggled as well, though.
Well, we will get into all of that in just a little bit later tonight. You can tune back in for the weather at 8 o'clock. We're going to kick it on over to the sports desk at a second try here. Christopher, how are you feeling?
Whammy!
Gene Tennis at the plate. I'm feeling pretty good. It's time for the Rangers recap.
I believe I've got the first game here, boys. We're recapping our latest series of this week that was started on, let me check, that's Monday the 21st. So that is the A's series and the Giants series that we are currently playing the third game today. So in this first game, this is the first game this year with our new lineup configuration. And I'll run through that quickly. It was Smith leading off, big change. Langford hitting second. Also another big change. Seager third, and Garcia fourth. So our 1-2-3 was the biggest shakeup of this because
Bochy ran out of patience finally.
Yeah, because batting fifth is Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
Which is a fine spot for him. Joc Pederson is sixth. I thought we might see him a little lower because Young is seventh in that new lineup configuration. You probably could have switched those guys because Young is doing well right now. Berger batted 8th, and Higgy was batting 9th.
If finances weren't an issue, I feel like both of these catchers would be in the lineup every day.
Yeah. Moving on with that first game here, the new lineup, it immediately paid off. In the top of the first, Smith walked, Langford singled, Garcia doubled, Semien got a sac fly, which scored Bombi, who was at third, and there was a 2-run first inning. Wonderful. Langford, he wasted no time bringing the power back. He hit a 403-foot home run in his second at bat. It was 101 off the bat. Also, that was in the fifth inning, I believe. No. Later in the fifth inning, Smith, he led off the fifth with a homer of his own. I think his first of the year, maybe second. But it was a 395-foot home run, 101.8 off the bat. Also in the fifth, this lineup still working. Seager got a screaming single. Garcia also a screaming single. And then Semien gets a 3-run home run. Good for him. 417 feet, 103.1 off the bat.
No, that felt good for that guy.
Yeah.
Berger.
Definitely.
The power continues. Berger led off the sixth with the home run. I did not get his exit velo and numbers on that. But this was the game that Seager exited early, grabbing that hamstring. I ended up falling asleep in the 7th inning in this one because they were playing, of course, in Sacramento. But I got to see all the offense, and we ended up winning that one 8-5, of course. Game 2 of this Ace series, Rocker was lit up in the first inning.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
I watched that one.
Gave up 4 runs on 3 singles and a double and a home run in 39 pitches in the first inning. Rough stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He left in the second. He struck out the first 2 batters coming back after the second, but then walked Tyler Soderstrom after those 2 strikeouts, and then gave up a single to Shea Langoliers, so Bochy had enough. And our good old friend Jacob Latz returned. He got called up, and he filled in for Rocker for this game and was stellar, except for his first 3 batters. So he ended up going 4 1/3, 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. I
still can just never feel comfortable with this guy on the mound.
I don't either. I was really worried, but the outing he did,
it was great this time.
It was. The 3 walks came immediately when he came in because he ended up walking in a run, which made the score 5-0.
Maybe this guy ought to warm up a little more
because he lost us on the first pitch yesterday.
It's interesting. Yeah, we can talk about that a little later. But yeah, there was a moment where there was some indecisiveness from Bochy, where it looked like they were going to leave Webb in.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was watching it.
And I think he was trying to buy time and give Latz a couple of more warm-up pitches.
Moving on in that game, too, Langford got another home run. So there was back-to-back days with the home run. This one was...
No doubt.
Pie out this ball, dude. 431 feet, 107.5 off the bat. Joc Pederson in this game, guys.
Homage to Dirk.
Finally. Yeah, ends his 0-for-41 streak with a double question mark. This was
just give it to him.
Halfway a botched ball, halfway a double. They scored it a double for him. It was the second to last out of the night, or a batter of the night. I've got here remarkably close to an error, but we'll take it. We will take it.
That one hit almost doubled his batting average. It was so low.
Yeah. We lost this game 5-2. We were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this game, and we left 5 on. This is a theme that you're going to hear from me later in this episode as well. I've got the last game here of this A's series. So the A's played small ball to get 2 runs across in the third. We answered back in the fourth with our only runs of the game. They were 3 solo homers from Simeon and Young, which were back-to-back, and then Taveras got the third homer, and that came after a Berger ground out.
I was listening to that one on the way home, and that inning was in the car, and old Nadell about lost himself on that one.
Really? I need to go back and hear
it. There's another drive.
That's great. I love Eric Nadell. So I got the measurements on all these home runs here. Young's 105 off the bat, 414 feet. Heim, his was also 105 off the bat, went 405 feet. And Taveras' was 102 off the bat, bit of a wall scraper at 389. DeGrom started this game, and it was fine. It was an okay start. In this one, DeGrom went 5 1/3, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 earned runs only. Milner, Martin, and Garcia shut down their combined 2 1/3 innings after DeGrom left the game. Then Luke Jackson came in, and he walked a guy and then gave up a single that Taveras completely botches. And it was not like a fly ball. It bounced in front of him, and he went to glove the ball, and it kind of came up into the crook of his arm, hit the heel of his glove, and bounced over behind him, so he had to double back and turn around.
It's the little things.
Yep. And then, two batters later, Tyler Soderstrom, he walked off single, and the Rangers looked like a bunch of fools, and we lost a game that we should have won 4-3.
This is absolutely one of those games where if you lose the division by 1 game at the end of the year,
this is one you can turn back to.
You're looking at this as one of those losses. This one stunk. You should have absolutely won this game.
Yeah, you really should have.
And it was the difference between winning and losing the series as well. It was just a bad funk on that loss.
Yeah. So that is it for the A series. I believe one of my esteemed cohorts here is going to kick you off for the Giants series.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a quick recap. Game 1 of the Giants series, Uvalde is dominant yet again.
I'm
never worried when he's coming to the mound. I just love him.
The guy is living up to that contract.
He really is.
I don't care what anybody says. He's already passed Nolan Ryan for GOAT pitcher of the franchise.
Ooh. 6 scoreless innings and 7 Ks. Struck out the side in the 6th to end his night.
Beautiful. He loves doing that. Finishing
He
the
does
game
seem
strong.
to gas out when he
Yes.
knows it's going to
Yeah.
be it for him there. Yeah, I like that about
Love
him.
that you have a guy that has that auxiliary tank that he can reach into at the end of the night.
Let's see, where are we? Wyatt Langford smacks a double to deep left in the 3rd.
Gets it done.
Drives in our boy Berger. And that's all we needed in this one.
Yeah.
I'm sure Joc thoroughly enjoyed his RBI single in the 6th.
Yes. Yeah. Talk about back-to-back days not back-to-back days, but within a
couple
game
of
of
days,
each other.
you know,
Yeah, good for
we'll
him.
take him where we can get him with this guy. Whether we needed his run or not, we all know that he did.
Yes.
So great job there, Joc. Jackson picks up his 9th save.
Yes. Moving on to game number 2. Tony, you got this one as well?
Yes, I do. Game number 2.
I added just a couple of notes to the top of this one for you. Simply, we were out small balled in this one. Another thing that happened in the A's. We just got off of this series. We were out small balled by another team, an inferior team. Also, just before we mention San Francisco, the Giants, who we're playing right now, has the most walk-off wins out of everybody in the league. I don't think it's close. I think it's like 5 or 6 or something like
It's
that.
a young season, too.
This one was disappointing, guys. Missed
Yeah.
opportunities
Oh my God, yes.
and
Yes.
a pedestrian approach at the plate leaves a bad taste in our mouths as we drop a very winnable game in walk-off fashion. in San
Another one,
Francisco.
another winnable walk-off game.
So 4 of San Francisco's 8 home games have been walk-off wins this year.
yeah,
Oof.
Those bastards are clutch at home.
they are.
Couple sack flies from Berger were our only run scored in this one, despite
Sack of burgers.
having 2 on and no outs in the top of the 9th. So we really scored
Yes,
something
yeah,
there.
I saw that.
Higgy. Like, man.
The bunt.
That's the worst
It was
possible
a pop
outcome.
Out. It was a pop-out bunt, right?
Yeah, in the infield, like, worst possible outcome in that situation.
A questionable pinch hit opportunity for Pederson proved unsuccessful with a strikeout and ends the half inning unceremoniously.
Yeah.
You could just smell a walk-off in the air.
Yes.
The stadium
Yeah,
was
you
a
really
buzz.
could.
Yes.
God,
Like,
that
when you
beautiful
waste that
stadium.
opportunity, yeah, for real.
It felt like it was a formality at this point. And with our best
yeah.
bullpen arms worn out and unavailable, we stood no chance at the bottom of the
Yeah,
ninth.
because Webb, I was surprised
We
Webb
wasted our
stayed in
chance.
into the 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was surprised he stayed into the 9th. And then when I got to thinking about it, I was like, well, everyone else is
I went to take a piss before the bottom of the 9th, and I came back and I was like, "Holy shit, this is done."
Yeah.
Like, so it was single, walk, sack, bunt. We replace. We bring in Lats.
Yes.
1 pitch, pinch hit, walk off single from
Patrick
Patrick,
Bailey.
Boo. We need a game where everybody just swings a damn bat.
Yes.
You know, we really need a good.
You know what? And
offensive game.
that might be the problem, is that everyone is just trying so ding dang hard right now because we're not performing the way that we want to perform. And we're going to get into all of that and more here coming up in our next in the main segments.
One thing that I didn't bring up during the A series was that 3rd game that we lost. That also the one that left a bad taste in your mouth as well. They had Luke Jackson go for the 4-out save. Something that I saw somebody say online that stuck with me is they're like, I have yet to detect that level of dog in him.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
It's like I already feel uneasy enough with the 3-out saves, and it's like we want to throw the man out there and try and get 4 now in that Sacramento bandbox of a ballpark.
That's really important for a closer. I hadn't really thought
Yes.
about that too much. But if you think about the best closers in this game, every now and then you'll have a Rivera who it's just kind of it is what it is, and the mystique takes care of itself.
Yes.
Where a lot of those guys really strut their stuff.
They're
you know?
intimidators. They're the Darian Hatchers. They're the enforcers of the team. They're the last guy that you have to get through if you can.
I think about guys like Brian Wilson.
Yeah,
for real,
absolutely.
So two closers.
Edwin Diaz has
Yeah.
that about him.
Yeah. 2 guys we had in back-to-back seasons closing that are like polar opposites on that spectrum, but they ended up both falling apart anyway. So guy that didn't necessarily have that dog in him, but still more or less got the job done. Do you guys remember Sean Tollison?
Yeah, uh-huh.
He looked like a goofy kid. He's looking like a chipmunk on the mound
He
out
looked
there.
like a dorkfish.
Yes.
Y'all seen that video?
Yeah.
It's going in the show notes. Come hither and lay your sword upon the round table of April, where there are only 3 knights at this round table. Me and Tony and Christopher. We're each gonna bring...
Triangle, too.
Triangle, yeah. It's a triangle. George O'Keefe designed this table. If there are any art majors out there, y'all, that will appreciate that joke.
That paints a specific picture.
So we're each going to bring a couple of topics, observations on players, series, individual performances, managers. It could be food. I don't care what it is. But we're each going to bring a couple of topics and kind of just sum up this April and how we feel and what's going on with the team here. I'll kick it off if y'all don't mind. My first one here is Higashioka and Heim.
Law firm.
The law firm, the famous crime-fighting duo, the detective agency, loose cannons. These guys are getting it done.
Who's good cop, bad cop?
Oh, Higgy's definitely the bad cop.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, Heim's too goofy looking.
Yeah, good call. We're getting production from this catcher spot, guys, from both of them, and I'm loving it. Both of these guys are doing their jobs. One of them a little bit better than the other one, but both of them better than they are normally doing.
I think Higashioka has been as advertised, and then I think Heim has been more than I was giving him credit for this year so far.
Yeah, so I will run through their slash lines.
Give it to us.
Right now, Higashioka is batting .260. His on base is .288. That's
Ooh,
not great.
Not walking.
Not great. You want that at really? You want it at 300, 350?
We knew that coming in.
His was the thing where his
guy.
being more aggressive.
He's slugging .380. His OPS is .668. So just under 700 again. That's about average.
It's very acceptable for a backup catcher.
Yes. And I think he only has 1 home run on the year so far. Jonah, he is batting .246 right now.
Okay.
Yeah, his on base is .292. Still a little less than where you want it. His slugging is .475, which is closer to where, that .450, .500 is around average. That will go up as he hits more home runs and stuff. His OPS, however, is .768, so little above average.
That's excellent.
Yeah, great for him.
Great for a catcher, too.
Good bounce back so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. He's putting his money where his mouth was. So
yes.
he said he was going to do better, and here he is. So.
Mm-hmm. The games played here, Higashioka has played 15 of them, and Jonah has played 19 of them.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
And there's been several they've played together.
Yes.
Yeah. That's happened way more than I thought it would. I'll say that.
Yes. They
probably due to necessity more than a desire.
Yeah. Some of them have been for desire. And my desire too. I've been like, oh, what a great game to be able to do both of these guys. And then I look at the lineup and they're both in. I wouldn't be surprised if they were both in the lineup right now. Home runs, I said Higgy's got 1. Heim has 4.
Jeez.
Great for Heim. 4 home runs in a month.
2 in 1 game, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did. His first home run that he hit 2. No. Was it? Yes. I think so. Y'all can look it up. I don't really care. He's got 4 on the year. That's what matters. RBIs.
He good. That boy good.
Higgy's got 5. Heim has 8.
All right.
Okay.
They have played together 7 times.
7 already?
Yes. In fact, Higgy has only ever caught when Heim is with him.
Oh, he's never been the DH.
Only 1 time, and it was yesterday. So when they play together, Higashioka is batting .240, which is a little bit under where he's at .260 when he's by himself. That's 6 for 25. Mm-hmm. That's where he is for April when they play together in those 7 games. Heim is 5 for 20 in those 7 games, batting .250, pretty much the same as where he's at now at .246.
I would expect that. His role is pretty set.
That'd be wild if one of them had like a Seabiscuit effect, where it's like when they play together, one of them just goes off because the other's in the lineup with him.
That's kind of what I was looking for here, and it's April. It's still such a small sample size, but this is something I will for sure be monitoring every single month to kind of see how that how often they play together and if there is a correlation.
We'll get you a Seabiscuit update in May.
Seabiscuit update. How they rank on the team as far as their individual stats. So for Higashioka, he ranks 6th in batting average and on-base percentage for the team, and he ranks 8th in slugging and OPS.
And then as far as Heim, he ranks 8th in batting average, 5th in on-base percentage, 3rd in slugging. Yes, and 4th in OPS.
That's a statement about where the team's at.
So just for perspective, actually, I'm going to save a little bit of this because it's part of my second point when I'm getting into just kind of overall in the team. But that's how our catchers are doing, guys. They're doing what I wanted them to do, which is wonderful. I am not worried about either of them every time they're in the
one
lineup.
Of the positions of comfort right now.
Yes, I'm excited to see them, especially Higashioka. I might love him more than Berger.
What?
I know. He's a.
Tony's
I want to.
right
I
here,
know.
man.
I want to put him in my pocket.
He's got this like Brian Scalabrine, where you know what I mean.
Yes.
He's like, I love this fucking. He's shitty, but I like him. You know.
Tony, what do you got for us, baby?
All right, man.
Wee woo.
My topic is
Wee woo.
is it time to hit the panic button with Joc Pederson?
Yes.
Is it time?
It's time.
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna be very nice.
I
No
mean, I
reason
want
to
him
shit on this guy.
I want him to do well.
There's no reason to shit on this guy. It's April. Let's
And-
just go over.
And we've gone through Marcus Semien and Shin-Soo
Let's-
Choo having bad first months here
Can
as
we
well.
can we just agree to go over a few statistics?
Yes.
And assess where we're at
What's his batting average?
and make a plan to move forward. Okay, let's just get into it. Okay.
All right.
Joc's bat speed.
Mhm.
Okay. 73rd percentile, comparable to where he's been the last 3 years. That's not our issue.
Okay, that's
All right.
but that's good to know that the bat speed's still there.
Still there as
Okay.
far as his vision goes as well. He's being even more selective in swinging at strikes and not swinging at balls than he's ever been at this point in his career.
What's his chase percentage, or what's that like?
We're gonna get into
okay.
that.
Something I've noticed, just on that note, something I've noticed in his at bats is that they're not like
They're not terrible at
they're
bats.
not bad at bats.
They're not
And-
those Josh Hamilton swinging at sliders 5 feet off the plate. You know?
Yeah, And when he is hitting the ball, I feel like they are more often than not hard or
Hitting it
at
straight
somebody's
to the
glove.
defender.
Yes,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not as hard as it's been for him.
Yes.
And we'll get into
Yes.
that
Okay,
as well.
so like his exit velocity's down.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting.
let's see, where were we at?
Get him a torpedo bat again.
He's just not making solid and consistent contact. There's got to be something mechanically wrong with his swing at this point. Joc has never been a great contact guy, but major leaguers don't just wake up one day and have Chris Davis level plate vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His chase percentage is lower than his career average this season, and is down even from last year, which was one of his most productive offensive years.
Okay.
So he's really seeing the ball well. But he's missing the ball on those chases, those chasing opportunities where normally he would be flaring them off and continuing to get deeper into these at bats. He's just missing the ball. So it's made his chase rate soar to the 74th percentile from the 47th, 46th, and 43rd percentile the last 3 years.
That's a huge jump.
Right. So he's chasing less, but he's just missing all of those chases. He's identifying ball and strike successfully, but struggling to get the barrel on the ball as hard as he normally hits it. His hard hit percentage has dipped from regularly in the 90th percentiles in like 4 or 5 different seasons for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's 28th percentile.
Oh,
yeah.
He's
So
just not making
he's just
solid
not making
contact.
oh,
Yeah,
dude.
when I'm looking at it here on Baseball Reference, and his hard hit percentage is average for his career, the percentage at which he is hitting balls hard is like 50. It's about 50%, and right now for the year it's at 37.
Okay.
It's bad.
I think what we're seeing is a guy who has always been an all-or-nothing free swinger, but now that he's not crushing the ball on his somewhat infrequent contact, no one is afraid to throw strikes. He's falling behind early in counts, and he can't get deep into these counts, find his pitch, and work walks. It's completely neutralized his game. At this point, I can't anticipate him going hitless in another 40-some-odd at-bats, obviously, but it's difficult to see the contact improving enough to keep him in the lineup much longer.
What's the solution there?
Personally, I would cut bait and move on, but I'm not signing the checks, and
Dang.
so he's probably going to be
You
here.
think he's cooked as a major leaguer at this point?
I don't think
I don't
so.
know about as a major leaguer, but I certainly think for the next 130 some odd games here, I wouldn't put him in the lineup anymore. Like, he'd have to prove it to me off the field first. I'd have to see it in the cages or something.
Yeah,
You can't afford to give him any more at bats. That's absurd.
It's just, I think what hurts the most out of all of this is the fact that he is the DH and he's not contributing in any other way to the success of the team. And I want this, this dude's a good guy. I want this guy to succeed. It's brutal watching this man struggle.
I know, and I've heard from all of the various podcasts and news articles that he's in great spirits, and I love that for him. But you got to think that there's something in the back of his head, too, that this, I feel like, is just the plain old yips. It's a real thing. The yips are a real thing.
Absolutely.
They affect everybody, even the greats.
You see catchers forget or be incapable of that stuff from Major League where he can't throw the ball back to the mound.
Yes,
that
so
stuff
wild.
happens.
That's real, yeah.
It's wild.
Who didn't that happen to? A Ranger? Was it Teagarden?
I think it was Teagarden that got the yips. Yep. Who the hell is Tyler Mahle?
Oh, man. Cy Young winner.
This guy's
saving us right now.
He's really good. Even yesterday when he gave up 2 runs, and that was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It's all a blur. But he looked good. I know the pitch count got up there on him, but man's got a 1.14 ERA on the season.
That is sick.
I know it's, like we said, it's still April, but that's your early Cy Young favorite. He's got to be for the AL. He's with 1.4 WAR already on the season.
It's so funny. You called Bradford, and
Yeah.
it's Tyler
Mahle.
it's gonna be
Mahle.
Jeez. And that would be just one of the wildest things. If, that'd be just crazy if he did win us our first Cy Young. But if that did happen, I wonder if it's ever happened before where you have a team that signed a player to a 2-year contract where knowing the first year he would be injured, and then he turns around the second year and wins the Cy Young. I wonder if that kind of situation's happened yet.
Currently, he's second in the entire league in ERA at 1.14, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto has the top at 1.06.
And he in the NL, so I linked for y'all his BB Ref page, but it doesn't matter if you click on it or not because there's nothing else in his history that suggests that he's this damn good. What's his ERA plus right now in the season? Something insane.
3.31.
Yeah, that's like Jacob deGrom in 2021.
Wow.
So obviously, this is not sustainable. He's not going to finish the year at a 3.31 ERA plus, but this is about as good of a start for Tyler Mahle as you could possibly expect. And his first start of the year was a stinky one. I mean, he only, I think, gave up 2 runs, but it was, he was out after an inning and a third just because the pitch count got up on him.
He's only one of 2 pitchers in the entire league with an ERA under 2 that has not given up a home run yet.
I don't know where this has come from with Mr. Tyler, but it's a welcome surprise. I honestly barely remember him on the Reds, and that's where he's pitched the majority of his career. I definitely remember him when he pitched for the Twins for some reason, but looking at the stat line, I mean, he's had a couple of really decent seasons in the past, but nothing that sniffs where he's at currently.
He's given up 4 whole runs on the year. 4 earned runs.
In 31 and a 2/3 innings
it.
pitched. That's so good. Let's see, what is this? So his strikeouts per walks ratio is 7.4, which is good. It's nothing amazing these days. His walks per 9 is 3.7, well, that's pretty good. His home runs per 9 is 0 because he hasn't given any up yet.
Just a pitch to contact guy, and
the whip
make
is
sure
under
that
1.
Contact is soft.
Yeah, the whip is, just under 1,
And that's-
9.79.
That's always sexy from a starter. So this is a nice palate cleanser after having to talk about Joc, is go from the worst player on the team to the best player on the
Right.
team.
Yeah.
Talk about something nice.
And this is crazy. This guy's been our best starter on a team that has Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi.
He's the number 3. He's the number 3, and I love having him as the number 3, too.
This is
If
think
we
about.
could just hit a couple of freaking baseballs, man, we would be unbeatable right
Yes.
now.
I would say, as bad as the offense has been, the pitching has been that much better in the opposite direction.
Uh-huh.
I've never
Anti-Rangers.
never seen a starting staff pitch at this elite of a level, and I've never and also have a corresponding bullpen that's not been terrible. The bullpen's been all right. They're not great. They're not bad though, especially for being as hobbled together and cash strapped as we were trying to build that thing.
All right, I'll bring you to my
Are we going back down again?
next
no.
and final topic for me. Where is the beef? And by beef, I mean the offense. Where is our offense? This team is built to bash, and we're not doing that right now.
Are we still second to last?
I
behind
will
the
tell
Rockies?
you where everything is, buddy.
Okay.
And I hope everyone took their antidepressants today.
We got a hitter named Burger, and we ain't got beef.
Yeah. So our team slash line right now, it is 2.23 batting average.
That's awful.
On base is 276.
That's also awful.
Slugging is 375.
Ooh.
On base percentage is 651. Here's where the league average is. Batting average 239, on base 314, slugging 388, on OPS 702. So the difference in all of those, we are about 16 points off from batting average from the league, compared under the league average.
Yeah, offense is down across the league.
Yes.
And it's real down in Arlington.
Yeah. 38 points under the on-base percentage.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's bad. 13 points under slugging.
Okay. That's surprisingly not as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, 51 points under OPS.
Yeah. It is pretty amazing that, the bar for average major league or whatever has always been about 700 OPS, and sure enough, you said 706 for the league average.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if a byproduct of that is we're not giving up. There's not been a lot of action on our base pass. I wonder if that is a part of it. In that, as well as sample size. I wonder if that's a part of it. I bet that changes with just one extra month. So where we rank in all of these categories is bad. They're all bad. I'm so sorry, guys. They're all so bad. I do have a couple of bright spots. I'll save them to the end.
offensive bright spots?
Yes.
Okay.
Just a couple. So hits, fourth worst, 191. Walks, second worst, with only 58 walks. Batting average, we're fifth worst. That again was 223. On base percentage, second worst. We're eighth worst in slugging, sixth worst in OPS.
The Texas Rangers, sixth worst in OPS.
I'm assuming all these second worst is to Chicago.
Or Colorado.
Tampa was down there in one of these categories too. Yeah. So some of the bright spots, marginal bright spots here in this offense. Home runs, we are 10th best in the home runs.
All or nothing, baby.
Yeah, pretty much. We've got 30 of those. We are 10th best in strikeouts, only 204.
Some patience at the plate, okay.
This one is a strange one, and I'm sure it's due to sample size and other corresponding numbers, but we're third best in men left on base. There's only we only have 141 men left on base.
Oh, you got to get on base though. That's the problem.
That is it. Okay. That I think is it. And the fact that it's not that too. It's like, yeah, it's just
there's just no table setting going on.
There really isn't.
Yeah.
And overall, just we've had low run production in the games that we lose and the games that we win.
Did you have like average with runners in scoring position?
I do. We're not hitting. We're not hitting, and the biggest problem, you brought it up, I think, is the runners in scoring position. Is when we're putting men on base and they are getting left on base, they're often getting left on base at second and third base in scoring position with no outs.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
In the ninth inning.
So
when we had a chance to take the lead.
Our team has 36 hits with runners in scoring position this year. That is second worst in the league.
Ooh.
Our batting average with runners in scoring position as a team is 224. That is sixth worst in the league. We have the least amount of runs and the least amount of RBIs out of everybody with runners in scoring position. When we're hitting the ball, it's all junk. I feel like it's all junk time. It's all junk time runs, and it's picking and pecking. We're not seeing the Rangers that we saw in 2023 that would go out and, put 4 or 5 down in an inning, and then a couple innings later tag on a couple of extra runs here and there. The last little bit of linchpin to our offensive woes is our slug. We're really not, and even though it's just underneath league average from where these guys should be slugging, it's really bad. It's incredibly bad, and it's been very detrimental to the success of this offense. So right now the league average for slugging is 420 is 388. By around the end of the season, that's going to be up to 420, 430. 500 is where the guys who are power guys, they should not be hitting below 500. Nowhere near it. to be honest. Their slug should be 550, 575, 560.
Your doubles and your home runs need to inflate that thing enough.
Yes, yeah. The guys who you expect to do that, Seager, Young, I would say. Simeon, Garcia. Right now, so Seager's at 468, Young's at 464, Garcia 407, Simeon 219, Joc Pederson 108. Ugh. A lot of these guys are just underperforming on where their slug should be. Even the guys who are performing over league average, they're not quite performing to their potential. And really not quite. They're just flat out not there. They're missing a step. They're missing a couple of steps. And I'm praying that it is the fact that it's just April. Tony, what is your second April roundtable?
Gone fishing.
We going fishing.
Going fishing, huh?
And kind of piggybacking off of your where's the beef, we're gonna need some changes to fix this. I think already.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, where can we go? I went ahead and swung for the fences on this one.
Okay.
This may not be particularly realistic, but how dare you look at your watch?
It was a notification.
How dare you? I'm so offended. Okay, let's get into it. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Texas Rangers need a center fielder. In the last 4 games, we have started 4 different center fielders.
Yep.
And the one that's supposed to be the guy has certainly proven himself to not be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Got him. Do it.
We are also in desperate need of someone who gets on base.
Yes.
I would like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and acquire one of the best up-and-coming players in the game. Pete Crow Armstrong, center fielder of the Chicago Cubs.
Do you want to sell your soul to the Chicago Cubs to get that guy? I mean, I would love it, but
this guy,
it's like their new franchise cornerstone.
This guy is everything we were all hoping Evan Carter would be for us.
That's true.
Quality defender, a premium table setter at the top of your lineup.
He's the real deal, Evan Carter. That's for sure.
It's going to cost a lot of capital to acquire someone like this.
I mean, that's one of those. It's like the conversation starts with like Jack Leiter and maybe Kumar Rocker.
Yeah.
Both.
So here's my. So I was like, all right. It probably starts with Walcott. Is where I went on.
See, now I'm out of the conversation because I'd rather just wait and see what Walcott could give me.
Yeah, because Simeon's only here for another 3 years.
I'm so in on
4
Sebastian
years, 3 years, 4 years.
Just put Smith there and move on.
That's true.
Just put Smith there and move on with your life. That's my point. Walcott is so blocked everywhere in this infield
he
right now.
He really is, I know.
We're not even halfway through the Simeon
If you
contract
can
yet.
barter somebody like Walcott and Ozuna, who had a really good spring, maybe his stock is up.
I'm surprised hearing this coming from you, where you'd rather not just find a way to offload Simeon no matter what it took and then give the spot to the young guy.
Well,
especially at this point with the way Simeon has started.
I don't know. I'm kind of pivoting it because,
we
he
need
started
a center
so
fielder
poorly.
now.
Yeah.
He started so poorly, and he's still getting treated with the kid gloves. He's going to be around.
True. He's 19, 18. Yeah. He's a baby.
Can we get this deal done? A deal centered around Walcott Ozuna might be enticing enough to get our foot in the door. Are Leiter and Rocker untouchable if we need significantly more? With the way our first 3 are pitching right now, Leiter and Rocker could be a part of a deal to bolster this offense. The infield is so logjammed, I don't see Walcott making an impact soon anyway. Why not move him for a guy who's already making an impact with several years of team control remaining?
Does Sebastian, is he a shortstop or does he play second?
He's shortstop by trade.
Sooner rather than later, Seager can't play shortstop forever, right?
Correct.
Like that last 3-4 years of his deal, he's going to be either
DHing or second base.
Could he play?
The window is now, guys.
For what?
The
for winning?
championship.
Oh yeah, that's
we are
true.
winning.
That's true.
The window is now.
Yeah, there's no building for
this
what you
is the
can't
time to trade a
accomplish
top
the second.
prospect.
That's God. We already did that though. We traded Luis Angel Acuna for Max Scherzer.
I know.
And we won a championship though.
In their 63rd season. It's happened! The Texas Rangers win the World Series!
True leadoff or 2-hole guy takes so much pressure off the heart of our lineup that wants to swing away all the damn time. Looking at you, Bumpy. Speed, defense, and a bona fide hit tool. Go get him, CY. This division sucks anyway, so make a big splash move while the window is open.
Man, I would love to see Pete Crow Armstrong on this team, dude. And he's so fast, man. He's got I'll steal any base whenever I want speed.
I just want a true blue chip center fielder so bad.
Chris, you got your last topic here for us.
Yes. So you guys remember the last?
And that is all the time we have.
Y'all remember the last Rangers team that had like a really wild run differential, but still had a really good record? That would be your 2016 American League leading 95 win Texas Rangers. That year, we set a major league record, which I think has been broken since then. But at the time, 36-11 in one-run games.
Dang.
Because of that, the team we won 95 games instead of our Pythagorean our Pythagorean expected win-loss of 80 wins.
Oh, yeah, blew that straight out of the water.
So those were the lucky Rangers. I remember that team. I remember arguing for them. I was like, no, man, they're just clutch. You don't understand what clutch is.
Tony shaking his head.
Yeah,
over
well,
here.
we all remember how this ends.
Yeah, we do.
All right. So that was the one and only time that this team has ever finished with the most wins in the American League. It's never happened.
Until this year.
And it wasn't even the most wins in franchise history. I mean, we had 96 in 2011, but 95 did it in 2016. The run differential that year, +8 the entire season.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
+8?
Yes.
How wild. And 95 wins?
Yep.
I can see why you were calling for clutch hitting.
Biggest difference, though, between that team, the one-run games, they're happening this year already. Like, it seems so similar, but the biggest difference is those one-run games were usually like 9-8. One runs,
not 1-0.
Math. Yeah, not 1-0, not 2-1. The pitching is leaps and bounds better than it was in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why we all don't think of the 2016 team so fondly is because of what happened in October. We had what you would think would be one hell of a good 1-2 punch, right? With Cole Hamels and Yu Darvish going 1-2. It's like, okay, we're set up for success here.
Absolutely.
In this series. And then that did not happen.
No.
So if you've got your ace and your other ace, you had two legitimate aces. They were both good at this time. This peak for both these guys, and they just crapped the bed. So you're just, okay, here you go, Colby Lewis. You're down 0-2, trying to avoid the sweep.
Please help us.
And to his credit, he pitched competitively in that game, but we ended up losing. And I did want to ask you guys, I know this is kind of like a glutton for punishment kind of question or whatever, but is it the most devastating fan-made sign in history, the one that the Toronto Blue Jays made for us?
Oh, God, I hate that.
Where it said, it's better to get punched in May than to get knocked out in October.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really good.
Is that the most devastating sign? It was. It's bad.
I don't know. That mural's still beautiful.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he still did get punched in May. But the good news is Nathan Eovaldi doesn't play that crap. Evo don't play that crap. So I can't imagine a scenario where Nathan Eovaldi goes out there and gives up 4 home runs in a postseason game. I mean, between us and the Red Sox, I mean, the dude's entire baseball reputation is in October. So while there may be a lot of parallels between this team and the 2016 team, you can rest assured that eventually this offense is going to wake up and the pitching is probably going to stay pretty good.
Thank you, dear listeners, for playing along on another episode of
The Ranger Zone.
The Ranger Zone. It always means a great deal that you take the time to spend the time with us. Your collection of McDonald's teeny beanie babies stored in those gallon Ziploc bags at the top of your closet.
Does she still have those?
I know my mom does. As always, you can keep up with us trying to keep up with social media on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Ranger Zone Pod. That is at Ranger Zone Pod.
Pod is short for podcast.
We are worth a follow for the nonsense alone, and of course, you can listen to us anywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you again. This has been the Ranger Zone, and I have been Robbie Belusic.
I have been Chris Green.
I have been Tony Cook.
And that's the way the baseball go.